Hi guys, in previous video I've explained to you that you can update your system, of course, nothing new, but the Linux CachyOS kernel is something that we do certainly one time a month, and that's just before creating new ISOs. We get the new Linux CachyOS and we don't build it. So yay, Linux CachyOS is something that you can do. You will wear out your computer, it's gonna take a long time, CPU will be very hot, etc., right? That's building kernels. But there is the chaotic AWR. They build it for us. Why not get it? So that's basically what we do. At some point in time, we say, okay, once a month, at least twice, maybe, right? We get the Linux CachyOS from chaotic, put it on our repo. It's a big chunk, as you can see here. It's big, but we need it, of course, if we want to have a dual kernel boot possibility. So how, well, if you watch the previous video, you see the workflow and the reasoning and the scripts that we can use. But later on I thought, of course, hey, this is just too difficult for people. We have scripts, right? We have the knowledge for scripts. So there is already quite a few things. We can get, let's do first a Control-C and then a clean. Is that possible here? No. So clear is then okay. So get, and then make this bigger. That's what I wanted to do. Well, so this is what we can do on our systems. Get chat-wm. There's also get chat-wm on ATT, so Arch Linux Tweak Tool. If you're an Arch, if you're on DevOS, and we install the ATT, then we can get chat-wm there as well. So here's a lot of things that we can do. Have a look at all those things. But I've made a new one, that's this guy. So that's the new script. And that's why we see this. Right? That's why we see this. And that's okay. It's nothing wrong with it. It's just strange to see. Because I ran the scripts. And I have now a latest version from chaotic AWR. And on the repo from ArcoLinux, we have an older version. So that's the one on the ISO. And that's the one we just downloaded today. So every other day, just depends, right, how many Linux kernel updates are there in a month. Thing is, if I want to show you what's going on, there are two things I should do, I guess. Remove Linux CachyOS. And of course the headers, needed sometimes for building NVIDIA modules, VirtualBox modules, and stuff like that. So that's gone. Then we better go to the, since this is about scripting, have a look at the scripts themselves. So many of our things are in user. Where are local bin? Here is a lot of stuff, right? So everything is nicely packed together in here. And so this is starting with a get Linux CachyOS. We open it with Sublime Text. And we put you over here. And the script here, let's run the script on the other side. Second screen. So to this side, my friend. And then you say get what? Get the Linux CachyOS from chaotic repo. We have here 6 repos, 3 from Arch, 3 from Arco, and what we need is, well, getting rid. So we'll go over here. Well, we need to do some things here. If we run this, it's gonna make sure that the ArcoLinux repos are out, that the chaotic AWR is in, and only I just want the Linux CachyOS, not everything else. And the reason is in the previous video. I don't want to do that. I will end up with problems for sure. So here we are, right? Again, I have now told him, let's go to the, this is okay, right? This is the end result. Let's look at the code. Basically, we say, let's make a backup for you. We begin to make a backup. So you have something called pacman.conf script, and in the end we're going to put the backman.conf script back. So whatever repos you were using, they're back in the end. Okay, but we need to start with something, well, that we know that we can control basically. So we have, first of all, we're going to get the pacman from ArcoLinux. We're going to make sure that the repo for ArcoLinux is gone from that one. So we only have arch. And then here we're going to say that's the file. Well, that's what the thing we want to change. That's up here, right? If there is no chaotic AOR in that file, and since we started with a clean slate, there isn't. If there isn't, okay, then you add these lines, 4 lines, to tell them, hey, that's where chaotic mirror list is. And then we're gonna update. This is not really an update, this is syncing of the databases. So please, chaotic AOR, where can I get these files? The databases come in, and then we only, and that's very important, only install Linux CachyOS, and then we put everything back. So that's easier, I think, than the video I've shown you, which is okay, right? ArcoLinux is all about educating people. So yeah, this is a quick way to quickly think it through. Start from a copy, then a clean, a packman.conf, then back with no Arco, then chaotic, then we get the databases in, then we install, and then we get the pacman config back. It's a logic, right, that you need to have in your head when you make a script, and we might still improve it over time. It's a start and you can use it. So if you have Arco Plasma and you do like CachyOS, but you want to update from time to time more regularly, right, then you just run that little thing. Maybe put it even in a cron. If you don't know what a cron is, basically it runs unattended at some point in time that you decide I want to run it every Monday 6 o'clock or something. I mean, that's how it works, the idea. And then it will run this thing and will update your CachyOS Linux kernel. But I would suggest do it manually, have a look, say okay, working. But do we need it? We don't need it, right? Normally Linux updates, the latest kernel is not really necessary. If everything is working fine, you can stick with the same kernel for 6 months and still be happy, right? It's only when we have problems with a certain kernel that we say this is not working, or this is a little bit sluggish, whatever, right? Lag. You can then have the idea, let's switch around. Let's go to the Linux LTS, the Linux Zen, the Linux Hardened, CachyOS. There's also Linux Zen, so there's many things you can go for if you think it's the kernel, if you think that's it. All right, cheers, have fun.